All right, let's get to our morning business report now. Starbucks has a new AI tool that could recommend drinks based on your mood.
That's pretty interesting. And a jury found Live Nation and Ticketmaster operated as a monopoly, driving up ticket prices. Channel 3's Jane King live at the New York Stock Exchange with all of those stories for us. Good morning, Jane.
Hi, Caitlin and Caitlin. Good morning. As the jury found that Live Nation and Ticketmaster, which are one company, operated as a monopoly in its dominance of live event and ticketing. Ticket buyers have been complaining about the high cost of tickets for years. Now, this verdict was reached following a lengthy trial in New York federal court that included testimony from top executives in the music and entertainment industries. Now, fans won't see ticket prices or fees drop soon. However, the judge will hold a second trial on what happens next, which could result in a breakup of the company. Well, Starbucks is rolling out a new AI-powered feature in ChatGPT that suggests drinks based on your mood, cravings, or even a photo. The coffee giant is among the first major restaurant chains embedding AI into ordering. So customers can upload a photo, like their outfit or the weather, and then they'll get a drink suggestion that matches the vibe. And Amazon has expanded its car selling business over the past year and a half. It's now active in over 130 cities. The Wall Street Journal reports that Amazon's car sale venture started as a test with Hyundai and now has grown to include vehicles from Kia, Mazda, Subaru, Chevy, and Jeep. Amazon does sell cars in Hartford through the Amazon Autos platform. Well, the S&P 500 and NASDAQ closed at record highs yesterday. Stocks have been riding high this week on the possibility of a peace deal with Iran. This morning we're positive as well. Dow's up about 30. Live from the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Jane King. Back to you.